Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Win, and let's get straight to business. So you already know, same thing, learning Spring Boot. And this week has been very cool because I started getting into working with Docker and working with a Postgres SQL database. And for those that don't know, I'm actually a fan of working with a Postgres database. And I worked with it before for my first project, Nissan Experience, and it's just very cool going back to it. I like SQL databases because it just makes me feel smart with the commands and stuff. And also, I just love that as a software engineer, if you have some experience with SQL, which is in high demand, you can also communicate with data scientists, which use SQL databases. So I know there are multiple different ones: SQLite, MySQL. The one that I only used is Postgres, and I love it, especially the PG admin is very cool. And the cool thing about what I've been learning this week is, as you can see here, you see Drizzle, which this has to do more with JavaScript. But if you see or you have experience with JavaScript, you understand that Drizzle is an ORM. And essentially what an ORM does is communicates your SQL database to your JavaScript application. So you don't necessarily have to write SQL queries to work with Drizzle. This does it for you. So it's like a translator. And funny enough, the cool thing now that I was learning this week is working with entities. And when I started seeing how entities work and dealing with the notations of table, ID, which is used to create a primary key, to generate value, to generate a value, and to columns, you can name them, and your tables, you can name them as well. So that's been very cool. In seeing this, I was like, oh, this is like an ORM. And then I kept studying, and I was like, oh, this is an ORM. This is what it does. So I don't necessarily have to like go in and type the SQL commands and stuff. I can do it straight from Spring Boot. So it's been really shifting my mindset on what I'm going to be doing once I'm done with this course and start working with my my third project. And essentially, when I start building other applications, wow, now I can use this ORM using Spring Boot because I really want to build my applications using JavaScript and Spring Boot. That's going to be my tech stack. So it's been very cool, me getting more comfortable with the annotations and stuff. And right now, for instance, I'm able to, for instance, if I run the application, I go here, it's running, call me Izzy, boom. So now that I have I have the sequence, and now I'm able to create my tables with the information that, as you can see here, I created with my entity. So all of this information is coming straight from here, what I wrote for my entity. So like the ID, the first name, the last name, email, age, and then I have it already connected either on my PG admin here, or I just have the extension on VS Code. So I already have an extension where I'm able to see my tables and stuff, connect to my database. And as you can see here, I go here, and you don't see anything because, as you can see here, if you don't have experience with Spring Boot, don't worry. So there's a thing here for JPA which is called DDA Auto, and what essentially does is it creates a new schema every time. So whatever was there before, it deletes it, so you always start fresh. So it's something very good for when you're like in development. It's not something you're going to use in production because, again, you don't want to delete your previous database, right? The example that I want to show you is, so if I go here to Postman and add this information, localhost, students, based on the details that we have here, when I send it, now I have this, and it creates immediately the ID. It generates the value from here thanks to this. And if we go back to the database, refresh, hit the table, boom, now we have the information right at the palm of our hands. And it's kind of cool that I don't necessarily have to go to Postgres to do something like uniqueness for an email. So you see here, we have in this column, we have uniqueness for this email. So if I try to add something new, right, but I'm using the same email, it won't let me do it because cannot execute statement, duplicate key violates unique constraint, which is student email. So I can do that just with annotations. I can create something that it cannot be reusable. So that's quite cool. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this week, getting more comfortable with annotations, learning about entities, and just getting better when it comes to Spring Boot. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.